How you doing, American people? How you doing, YouTube subscribers? This is Harper Community First. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. I enjoy you, and I need to do more commentary. Um, I don't want to forget my talking point here because I got something I want to say. Um, you know, it's really crazy what's going on. Um, allowing immigration in our country and illegally, and people staying over their visas, and a lot of the Hispanics coming over here. Everything is causing problems. We already got enough problems, but this has caused a lot of problems. And the reason it's causing that I say it's causing problems, not only that we're paying for them to be here, and they don't have the history of our country, and they are presumptuous in what they say and do, all on YouTube, all in life, all in our government, all on our affirmative actions, saying stuff, they voicing their opinions now and causing problems. They're causing a war. They are causing problems because they think that they are entitled to something. They think that they're entitled to something, and a lot of the government has allowed them to be here. And the Democratic Party is a deplorable mess. It's a mess. Maxine Waters, James Clyburn, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, all of them are criminals. They need to be charged with treason, for treason, and they need to be charged for aiding and abetting criminals by law. They're making laws where they can aid and embed criminals. Sanctuary cities are illegal. DACA is non-constitutional. The President Barack Obama should have never made DACA. And I'm sure his family probably saying, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You was the first African-American president, so to speak. You never was a descendant of slavery, of course, even. So why did you do that? Is it that you were thinking about your Nigerian father and your people that are from another nation who would like to abide in the first world because it's rich and filled with opportunity? Why would you make a illegal organization like DACA for people, for the American people to have to pay for in their tax dollars, and cause a culture shock, and got all these poor people coming over here, running to get over here, fighting at the border? It's a crisis. Hiding in the Catholic Church. The church is aiding and abetting criminals now because they think they got something to look forward to after Obama signed for DACA. They have been coming, and other politicians have moved the needle in favor of them. This is a disaster. And you're messing up the country and its integrity, and the people that are native to this country who paid into it. Now we are supporting a people who are feeling that they are deserving of that. And they're basically a progressive people. They're taking over. They're taking over, and they are dominating communities and schools, dominating poolsides. I've seen people get up from poolsides and walk away. When a lot of Hispanics came, they came with 30 children, reaching the pool capacity. And this is what's going on. And you have allowed this as a dignitary of government for people to come in our system, in our society, and reign success illegally. And now you got a conspiracy and a big fight going on even between us. You got people that had good hearts that are manipulated. And all you Negroes out there call yourself talking about, well, they not bothering me. They eating your lunch, Negro. They eating your lunch. They are. And then all of you that's coming around moving the needle in favor of them as Democrats, black folks, too. You are quite stupid. This is a ridiculous, ridiculous action. We don't care about no doggone anchor babies. We're not in favor with that. Maxine Waters is a liar. Nobody is in favor to anchor babies. And if we don't start to get along and become constituents, whites and blacks, and we need to correct the descendants of slaves, us, who people mostly are living in disenfranchisement quarters, communities, but we're not getting along to do that. That the ones who built this country, blood sacrifice, are not being rectified. Let me tell you, if we don't get along, everybody's gonna be in trouble. Because these Hispanics and these immigrants going to start locking you up too, white people. They'll lock you up too. They're going to become in control of your nation and our nation. Because we're not getting along. A house divided against itself will not stand. That's just order. And what's going on, and you promoting the idea of these people because they want cheaper labor. A lot of people are traders that are in power that want cheaper labor. And a lot of them, I'm sorry to say, a lot of them happen to be white men with companies and businesses. Well, your little idea of things is destroying the integrity of your country, the first world. And they got anchor babies. I don't care nothing about that woman in Chicago standing up in front of the Catholic Church with her sons talking about we need her. Of course they need their mother. Take your children back with you and fight for your government. We're giving aid to Venezuelan, giving aid to Guatemala, the United States, sanctions with these countries and other things like that. You got y'all have the tools to survive. Your government is not loyal to you. You're supposed to reciprocate loyalty from your government. Not come here and reciprocate some type of loyalty from us when you're not anchored in this country, in the history of it, over people's heads. And catapulting above people that are here anchored in the history of this country. This is absurd, and it's hurting American people. And we don't want you here on our land demanding stuff. And it's a culture shock. You guys coming here piling up and stuff. All in people housing and everything. All because the greedy man who has the money has got in touch with state legislator and the federal judges. And they're moving the needle in favor of this. Because they work, they don't complain. That's a lie. They are here to get over. We keep playing this game, it's going to be a war. And it's going to be a war, and they're going to start locking white folks up. We better do something. We better do it quick. Because they having babies by the minute. By the minute. They producing, and they're having anchor babies. And if you're born of an illegal in this country, you are not a citizen. You are anchor baby. You're not a citizen. So those boys that stood up in California when their mother didn't want to be deported, they're not citizens either. They're fat because we keep feeding them, which people do need to eat. But they don't get to take over your house and your country, your society. These are anchor babies. These are not American citizens. How can you come in somebody's country illegally and birth children that are legal? We got the most terrible immigration laws throughout history. And the president getting too much pushback. And I believe the Democratic Party is a powerful party and is backed by Hollywood. And a lot of big billionaires and trillionaires. Rich people. So it's got a lot of power. But that doesn't mean it's right. And just because I'm a slave descendant, a descendant of slavery, does not mean I'm a dang on Democrat. I have the Republican mindset, and I have patriotism running through my heart, in my bloodstreams. My granddaddy fought top sergeant in the Korean War. My grandmother graduated from an HBCU in 1935. We were progressives. We ain't asking for no handout. But we do want a fair shake when it comes down to politicians and political exchange. This is class and sophistication. But I don't want to be taking care of somebody else and somebody else's children illegally in my country. And I have to conform to their languages. This is absurd. And you're going to start something if you don't move these people out of here. The Democratic Party, you are responsible of the war that you're brewing. You are responsible, Maxine Waters. While you getting your nails done and letting Mac do your makeup, and living behind your walls, we out here fighting with your legislation, what you put in order. You and the President Obama. And Maxine Waters and Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi and them. We out here fighting the garbage you left out here for us to eat the failure of this mess, illegal immigration. illegally. Immigration. And white folks are fighting it too. It ain't just us, the descendants of slaves, who are going unrectified in terms of our laws and our inheritance. It's also white people that's in trouble. These people are progressing. They're having children illegally in our country, and it's going to destroy our country if y'all don't get rid of these people out of here. Whatever you need to do, Ben Carson, President Donald Trump, if the Democrat Party won't listen, serve them papers. Arrest them. Start arresting people. The Catholic Church, I don't talk about the church. I revere all forms of religion because I know that's a sacred place for people. But their moral compass is in question, especially due to the fact that they hide them priests who molested those little boys. And now y'all hiding illegals? Well, what is going on with the church? What kind of Christian value? How can you love a God you never seen before and you don't love your neighbors whom you see every day? And your neighbors are the veterans that's walking around here homeless. Your neighbors are the descendants of slaves that work blood sacrifice and who are not rectified. Those are your neighbors. Your neighbors are poor white people who can't get a fair shake because they were just born in poverty. Those are your neighbors, not Venezuelans and Guatemalans. Charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. And if y'all not from this country and y'all here illegally, go home. Go home. And get off my land and out of my tax dollars illegally. Everything's supposed to be done decent and in order. And Alexandria Cortez, stop asking for reparations and stop asking for black and brown alliances. What brown people have you seen hanging from trees over here? What brown people have you seen working and building a railroad in the United States diaspora? What brown people have you seen picking and sharecropping, picking cotton and being used as bed winches and bed bugs? What brown people have been oppressed in the United States diaspora? So you stop that. That's offensive. Brown and black and brown alliances. She already asking for reparations for Hispanics. And I said it, and white folks, you ought to know I'm telling the truth. You can't get mad at me because of where I come from. Your ancestors were slave traders. That's the history of our nation. You don't need to get angry about that. You need to help rectify so we can move on. Because that is what happened to my ancestors. And Angela Cortez and Alexandria Cortez and other people are using that in terms of what they want. The term minority. They can't even say it. They can't even speak English. All on our affirmative actions. The Immigration Act of 1965 came through the regime of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And these people over here, they think they built America. Just because you live in America and were born in America don't mean you built America. And just because you got people out there working in hard hats, taking cheaper labor and cutting lawns and stuff, don't mean you built America. We built the backbone. We built the whole body of America, how it exists. The railroad system, the cotton gin. We performed their duty. Slaves built the White House. You didn't build America. You didn't help engineer the laws in America. The descendants of slaves introduced the moral compass to the government of how to treat people in a humanitarian exchange. You did not build America. You are anchor babies. And we better come together, white America and black America and the natives of this country, for the integrity of it. It's the truth. It's the truth. You rectify the slave descendants. And let's come together and get rid of these people in our society that's taking over, because y'all gonna be in trouble. Now, this ain't for me. This is for the people and the greater good. Because I'm safe in my home and I pay my bills. But I do get affected by what we all be affected by. But this is for the greater good, because I know what's happening. I see it in my community. Sanctuary City. We don't even know we living in a sanctuary city. They not on Section 8 no more. They going through nonprofits and getting checks. The Catholic Church is giving them checks to pay their rent. And the nonprofit organizations in beautiful, wealthy communities, because they got 4 or 5 children, the voucher can go up to $2,000 a month in rent. And they're eating. And then they're going to work and saving their money on illegal immigration job sites. They don't hire you. They're not studying you. Hey, we brother. No, you're not. They don't hire you. They don't work with you. They hire their own people. And when they get up in something in power, they start moving their hair to women like they white women. Because they're emulating the powers to be. And the white folks don't even want them here. Because you come in the door wrong. You're stealing. Somebody breaking your country and thievery. What you think they're going to do? That's why people call Mexicans liars and rapists. Sorry to say it. But what you think they're going to do when they get here? We got too many problems of our own to be trying to take care of a third world nation. They need to stand up to their own government. If you're not legally in this country, go home. Because it's going to be a war. Go home. Get out of here. Now. Off my tax dollars. And if you are in government and you are moving the needle in terms of illegal immigration, stop doing it now before we start rallying for your punishment for treason and aiding and abetting criminals, and cut the check for the slave descendants.